I respectfully would say that we're not talking about any of the other qualifications that someone has. We have limited it to this one qualification, whether or not you have been employed or not when you're applying for a job. You see, Mr. Speaker, what we have done here in this bill is we are creating a preference. See, many very, very good intentioned ideas to end so-called discrimination also end up creating a preference. And in this particular case, we are creating a preference for someone who is unemployed applying for a job versus someone who is. And we are creating that preference because we are also doing something else, which this body has been actively engaged in over the last several years, which I think is leading to our poor economic state, and that is creating fear. We are creating a tremendous amount of fear in the business community. Fear about what the next law will be that will impact their business and their ability to stay in the state and make a profit and hire people. I had the opportunity yesterday to speak with a gentleman who owns a business in my town. He was actually nervous about being here to participate in a press conference which had to do with another bill about a law that would involve the state of Connecticut entering into a business that would directly compete with the business that he is in. So that was one element of fear that he experienced, is that he's like, I'm trying to run a business and I'm finding out that the state is going to start a business to do the same exact job that I do, and how is that going to impact my ability to compete and stay alive as a business? And he incidentally has 6 employees. He expressed fear about the ability of his business to survive. But one other thing that I thought was really interesting, and sadly not surprising, is that he was fearful about being here and speaking out. And I cannot tell you just the impact that had on me to hear that a business owner in our state is afraid to come and voice his own opinion because it is not the opinion of the powers that be in our state. Fear is a great motivator, and I am afraid that we are creating enough fear to motivate businesses right out of Connecticut. Another thing I want to point out is that whether we like it or not, it is not the duty of a business owner to create a good society. That's not his job. His job is to make a profit. It is our job to try and create an environment where the people who live in our community can thrive. And part of that job means that we create an environment where businesses do have an opportunity to succeed and ultimately create more jobs and more economic growth so that the quality of life of every citizen of our state is increased. Our own history tells us that the greatest period of economic prosperity in the history of mankind happened at the beginning years of the United States of America, when we had more or less unfettered economic freedom for businesses to compete against one another and to try and outdo one another, all after a profit. And some would say that's a horrible thing, that's about greed, and why are we endorsing such a philosophy? Well, our country is founded on this principle that businesses would try and obtain a profit. And because of that, businesses did succeed, and businesses did outdo one another. And because of that, we created the greatest period of economic prosperity that the world has known. Electricity, the light bulb, the telephone, the automobile, the tire, everything that goes along with all of the modern technology that we have, indoor plumbing, all created during a period of economic prosperity created by free markets with less government intervention. Since then, our government has continued to invade that area and manipulate the economy for the benefit of those who are most effective at lobbying it. Mr. Speaker, the founders of this great country believed that government was a necessary evil. Let's stop proving them right.